Oh wait, yeah, here we go. Check the tech. All right, cool. So
Okay.
yeah, so we were talking about this a little bit before the show. So is the Logitech G Cloud a waste of money? Many users seem to think so. The cloud-based handheld. So Logitech just recently announced that they're also entering the handheld game space. Uh, Theirs is a cloud-based handheld console which is priced at $300. But that's with a current discounted price. Its MSRP is going to be at 359, which is $50 less, or $50 less than a Steam Deck, and I believe $50 more than a Switch. Um, so when this came out, I one of my friends in a Discord chat that I'm in aptly said that the Logitech G is pretty much like the most useless handheld console for like 2012 20 or 2022 2013. Wait, 2023. There we go. I'm like, what year
Yeah,
is this?
I was tracking.
Years. The current year that ends in two, next year that ends in three. Because it's like it's everybody's hype about the Switch because there's tons of games that are already out there that you can play that you can get a physical copy of because there's that physical media is a big thing for a lot of people, self
Mhm.
included. Um, and there's if for all the people who already have tons of games in their Steam library, like the Switch deck is also a good component that people have been excited about for a
Sure.
while, and it also serves as just like a dockable computer that you can just hook up to a monitor and just have with my keyboard and mouse and just have a computer right there for you to play your Steam games on, which is phenomenal. And
Amazing.
to release or to announce releasing a console, I think it comes out like December of this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's coming.
To it, when is
It
it?
is imminent.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all later. Dun, 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 dun.
Nice. But yeah, it's coming out real soon, and for it to be in that like liminal zone between those two consoles, like it's kind of like, but why though? Like you already have a ton of people with whom you can play games who already have a Switch, and you have a ton of games that you might already have on your Steam account, and friends that
Mhm.
you can now play, and blah blah blah. So it's like I'm still trying to reserve judgment, but like the initial perception is like, who asked for this? Which is they not wrong. Like if you get a Steam Deck, like these, you can download like a Steam Deck's just like a computer that's handheld. You can download like
Right.
whatever you want. So if you can download the launcher for like whatever cloud-based systems are going to be on that the Logitech G offers, like you could accomplish the same thing. Granted, for $50 more, and but probably for better hardware.
So my question, and I know don't have our hands on it yet. We probably won't get like that. But if you could decently play, like if you did had local caching, so it's not going to be as robust as a Steam Deck, but it's like there would be a handful of games that will work on this that you could. Hey, thanks for the follow. Uh, there would be some that you could play on it locally.
Mm,
That would be where I was like, okay, you get access to the Steam library, not just the Xbox Cloud library and those platforms. You won't be able to play all of your Steam games just because the hardware won't be able to handle it, but it'd be a cheaper alternative that lets you, do some local offline play. I have not heard anything like that. So
mm,
that's where it really is a head scratcher, especially as a mobile, because it's like, where are you going to be traveling to that's going to have internet better than probably what you have at home? There are going to be obviously there's going to be some coffee shops that just have a fantastic, like maybe they get 10 gigs and their Wi-Fi connection is great. There are some places like
mm.
that, but that's not that's not a lot of places.
Yeah.
Um, and even I would even think in my house, like if I were going to cloud game, I'd still want to plug in. I'd still
Hmm.
want to be hardline for that to have the best, because I've tested doing Stadia in my house back when I was in the apartment, and I haven't tested it in the new house. To be clear, I haven't tested it there.
Hmm.
Even in the apartment, when I had a gig, that was still hit or miss. And I could also argue about how much gig I was getting, but that's another conversation. Um, So it's just, yeah. Now if it was like $200, then maybe
Then it'd
okay, that could be a
be
nice
in
thing
business.
around the house. Yeah, it might be seem like okay, that'd be nice around the house. I could quickly like on my internet connection play stuff in the house and maybe have a little bit of stutter. But okay, for $200, this is like a cheaper way for me to enjoy, or maybe even like pump from my desktop computer that's in the house,
Mm-hmm.
to that device. So that could be cool. But
Yeah, but for 350, 360, whatever it was, I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, also, Kenny,
Taryn
you are
says
lagging a little bit.
there's speaking of internet connection, I'm on a hotel Wi-Fi, so
Yeah, I saw the lamp behind you. I'm like, don't nobody buy square lamps.
Square Enix.
Oh, okay.
All right. The
Alrighty.
next one is actually pretty big, and I know some people are gonna. I actually just read an opinion piece that made me upset before I jumped on the show. So there was an Australian bill passed a couple years ago that helped democratize or hold Google and Facebook accountable for the way that they aggregate search results, particularly for news. So, like, if let's say IGN again, IGN puts out a report of, hey, this thing happened and we're reporting on it. But the problem is, if that shows up in a Facebook result, you may read tagline. Sorry, you might read the title, get enough information from the tagline, and then never click on the link. Or Facebook, Google might present enough information kind of showing it to you in the search, and then you never click on the site. Now, for you as a user, you probably don't think anything about that because you're like, oh, okay, but I'm just moving on about my day. I saw the headline, cool. But what the problem is, that means that person, you never actually go to the site and potentially generate ad revenue. And that's where a lot of sites can run into issues, and have continuously seen their ad revenue drop. So Amy Klobuchar introduced a very similar bill that just passed in the Senate that would do the same thing here in the States, holding Google and Facebook accountable in a similar way as that Australian bill, so that if you are a major news site, or honestly even smaller news sites as well, because they are paying their employees to try to do the work and report on these things. And if they're not getting ad revenue, they should, from people that are looking at that information. This bill is aimed to make Facebook and Google pay into a fund that gets distributed evenly across sites that are shown on their searches, and to make sure they get compensated fairly for that lost search.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I thought it was, and I know again there's been some pushback, but I thought it was at least for now a good compromise, because it's not asking Facebook and Google per se to it's recognizing there is an ease of use for users in the way that they present the information. I think there's some problematic things with that. We could talk about that too, because I mean, if you keep that system and people are not fully reading all of the context of an article, I still think that's not good. So I might have wanted to build a push a little more on that of like, maybe you should stop this too, just so people actually need to go to the site to read the full. Now, whether that person reads the whole thing, that's on them. But like, if you're giving these snippets out, I don't know if that's great either. But at least this is getting like, hey, we are recognizing that this has impacted you in a very substantial and tangible way. We're going to try to compensate for it.
Well put. Well put.
Yeah. Dang, Taryn. What are you trying? That dream big wall sticker is not on brand for commit.
Live, laugh, love.
I'm hurt. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on that? Or then we can move.
No, I feel like you nailed it. That's pretty much it. It's like if you only read the headline, you remember like, oh wow, that's everything I need to know. But the users aren't going to those websites, so it's like they're not getting what they paid for. Yeah. The users, the advertiser's not getting what they paid for. The user's not going to that site. Yeah.